Did you know that University of Scranton did a research and they discovered that 92% of Americans who set their goals, they never achieve them. 92%, which means only 8% do. Welcome to Achieve. I am your host, Wanda Martin, and I'm here to give you some good goal setting strategies to help you to become a part of that 8%. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to highlight an amazing woman in business, and her name is Caressa J. Welcome to the show, Caressa.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am so excited to have you on my show today.
Yes.
So, look, let's go ahead and dive into this conversation. So, can you please tell us about who you are and your business?
Yes, so I'm Caressa J. I am the CEO of the Caressa J Agency, which is a full-service brand management and VIP concierge company. I'm also a brand strategist and a speaker.
Oh, I love it. VIP.
VIP. Everything luxury over here.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we want. That's why I have her on here, because it's a luxury show. So you're going to get some luxury content today.
Yes.
And so, Caressa, can you please tell us, why do you believe goal setting is so important for entrepreneurs? I mean, you're an amazing entrepreneur yourself, so why do you believe goal setting is important for entrepreneurs?
Yes, goal setting is important because it helps you stay focused. It directs your path. It lets you, it's like your guide, so that you kind of know where you're going and where you're headed. And so goal setting for me has been very important and vital, so that I could do my best to kind of stay on track and remember what I'm doing and why I'm doing it.
That's good. That's good. So really, like you said, it helps you to stay focused.
Yes.
And that's one thing that I love to bring out when it comes to goal setting, because I find that a lot of individuals, when they're setting their goals, they're easily distracted.
Yes.
And so it is so important, if you're trying to go from where you are to where you want to be, you want to make sure that you stay focused.
Yes.
And so with that being said, can you share one practical thing that you do to help you to stay focused with your goals?
Yes, I think that one thing I do to help me stay focused is really showing up.
Oh, I like that. Yes.
You know, the art of showing up is very easy for us to kind of, like you said, kind of derail and kind of think about so much that's going on within our lives and in the world. And so you still just have to show up. And I think that's really important.
That is important to show up, definitely. Okay, so with that being said, what discipline do you utilize to achieve your goals? I know you show up and you're focused, but is there a specific habit that you utilize to help you to really go after and achieve your goals?
Yeah, you know, I tell people one of the greatest values of things that you can have in your life is discipline. Without discipline, I mean, you will fail. You might as well forget it. And so that is something I have not mastered yet, but something that I'm working towards every single day along with showing up. One discipline I have is really, when I wake up, setting intention for my day, you know, making sure that I set intention for what my goals are and what my needs are, so I can make sure that I'm still doing what I need to do for myself as well as serving others. Yeah.
And see, and I love to talk about practicality. And so when you say, you know, you set intention, you're very intentional about your day. What are some of the things that you do to help you to become intentional about your day? Because I know there are many entrepreneurs that's watching this episode, and so when you're talking about being intentional, I know for myself, like when I get up in the morning, I make sure I write down my goals.
Yes.
I make sure that I review my goals. I make sure I meditate on achieving my goals. So those are some of the discipline habits that I am constantly doing to be intentional about achieving my goals. So what would you say are some of yours?
I'm intentional about my self-care and checking in with myself.
Oh, I love it.
Because if you do not check in with yourself and prioritize your self-care, you cannot serve others well. And so in order for me to show up well, I have to say, okay, Caressa, what's going on with you? How are you feeling today? What is your personal goal for today? So self-care is really important.
And it is. As a matter of fact, it reminds me when you're in the plane. When you catch a plane and they said, you know, if something happens and the air mask drop down, put it on yourself first before you can take care of the other person. And so what you're saying, it highlights that.
Yeah.
Self-care is so important, because you cannot help others to reach their goals if you're not taking care of yourself for you to reach your own goals.
Yes.
And so that is so important.
So important.
Self-care.
Yes.
Yes. You know, and it's funny because most entrepreneurs that I bring on my show, that's like their number one thing that they always mention. Yes.
Oh, it's so important.
It is, because you know, with entrepreneurs, we're so goal driven.
Yes.
And we tend to forget about ourselves.
Yes.
And we tend to forget about what we need, what we desire, the things that we need to help us to matriculate to the next level.
Yeah.
And so that self-care is definitely so important.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that that. That's something that you utilize as
well. Got to show up for yourself
you gotta
so that you can serve others well. Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, you know, I love to talk about mindsets, you know, having a positive mindset, because again, that is also important in order to reach your goals. You know, it's impossible for you to have a positive life with a negative mindset.
Yeah.
And so if you really want to be serious about reaching your goals, you have to really work on the way that you think. You have to work on your mindset. So what would you say to the entrepreneurs that are watching about having a positive mindset and how important it is?
Yeah, I always say, you know, when you talk about positive mindset, there's going to be so much negativity kind of going around. Life happens while we're making plans, is what I say. And so while life is happening, while we're making plans and setting our goals, how do you respond? Emotional intelligence is vital.
Oh, yes.
Emotional intelligence, which means how do I effectively manage my emotions? Because when things derail you and things get tough and, you know, things overwhelm you, how do I respond? And how you respond to situations really help guide you in reaching your goals. You have to learn how to respond and how to manage. It does not mean that you're not feeling, because I always say you have to feel so that you can deal, so that you can heal. But you want to make sure that you learn how to manage your emotions, because the way you respond to certain situations may disrupt you from destiny.
That's true.
And so you have to be really clear on how to respond to situations so that you can continue to do what you're called to do.
And I love that you said that, because I teach a lesson called E plus R equals O. So the event plus your response will determine your outcome.
That's good.
You know, because events happens to all of us.
Yeah.
But it's your response to that event that's going to determine your outcome.
That's great.
And so in hearing you're really echoing that.
Yeah.
Your response is so important. That emotional intelligence is what we really need to focus on, so that again, life happens to all of us, but it doesn't knock you out the box. I said, you know, failure isn't fatal.
Yes. Oh, that's so good.
It's not. But
I gotta use
we tend to look at that, you know, and we'll tend to cave in, give up, and quit. And so we allow our emotions to get in the way, and what happens, like you said, it derails us from reaching our goals.
Yeah.
And so that is so important that you talked about that. I mean, because if you just look at her, y'all see she's so calm. She's so calm, cool, and collected, but you can tell obviously that's something that you had to practice. Am I right?
Yeah, that's something I try to master. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really good in having a positive mindset.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, Caressa, my next question with you, because we're talking about events happen to all of us.
Yeah.
How do you handle setbacks? How do you handle setbacks? Because again, we all experience setbacks. You know, no one's life is perfect. So how do you handle setbacks so that you can still reach or accomplish your goals?
You know, I tell people I don't call it setbacks. I say we have lessons and we have divine reroutes.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have divine reroutes. So
I'm going to take that one.
Yeah, because we think of it as, oh my gosh. You know, a lot of times you'll say, oh my gosh, I have this goal, or oh my goodness, I have this dream or this vision, and when it doesn't happen in our time, we're like tripping out.
Yeah.
But no one really knew our own timeline.
Exactly.
We do it to ourselves, and we're like, oh my gosh,
so
and we're beating ourselves up. But you may have needed a divine reroute to get you to where you needed to be and be in alignment with your assignment for where God has you going. And so embrace the divine reroutes. Maybe it's going to take you further than where you even thought or planned. It's going to be bigger than what you even imagined. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Embrace it, because that's so good when you think about it. You know, I love to read the Word of God, and so all things really do work together.
Yes.
For your good.
Yep.
Just stay on course with
no matter how crazy it may seem. Yeah.
So can you share with us a divine reroute maybe that you had experienced, you know, within your business?
It's so funny. So my background is human services, marriage and family therapy, social work. I'm a certified grief and recovery specialist. And so we talked about emotional intelligence and how to handle reroutes and things like that. And so back in the day, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be this therapist, I'm going to be this social worker, I'm going to do all those things. But really what it was doing was teaching me the personal and professional development that I would need for myself, as well as I work with entrepreneurs and business owners, because life happens while we're making plans. And so I tell people all the time, since I work with a lot of influencers and entertainers, that what you do off the stage matters. What you do behind the scenes matters before you get on the stage. you know, and you're a public success, but you're dealing with private stress. And so we don't realize that that personal development goes hand in hand with your public success. And so I realized that that was something that really was beneficial to me, having both. And I don't know any agency or any company where they handle helping you with your brand, helping you with your business, but also helping you with your mindset and how you deal with public scrutiny.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Absolutely. That is, dealing with the mindset is so important with that. And so, you know, can you tell us, how have you grown to this level where you are now?
Wow, I always say purpose over perfect.
Okay, say that again.
Purpose over perfect.
Okay, did y'all hear that? Purpose over perfect. Okay, now explain that.
You just learn, like I said, to embrace just the changes, the challenges, the chaos. You know, you just learn how to embrace that and just pivot. There's power in the pivot.
There's power. Okay, you are dropping some nuggets here. I love these one-liners.
Yeah, because we beat ourselves up in business and in life, as, you know, out here for mothers, and just we beat ourselves up all the time about our own thoughts and feelings and emotions, and it's like, it's okay. I promise you it's okay. You know, we have our own goals and everything, but again, that divine reroute might take you further than what you even planned. And so it's okay. And I think that you know, once we learn to just embrace our everyday and really just live our life to the fullest every day, all is well.
All is well.
All is well.
And I love it, because pretty much what you're saying is just give yourself grace.
Give yourself grace.
You got to give yourself grace, because and especially women. We tend to beat up on ourselves, you know, because we want to get everything correct. We want to have everything perfect. But I love what you said, purpose
over perfect.
Over being perfect. And so I hope you all are out there, you writing down all these goal-setting nuggets and these one-liners, because you can definitely utilize them. Because it's an easier way to deal with life. It's an easier way to deal with life. And so listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more goal-setting wisdom from Caressa J. We'll be right back.
Shelter dogs aren't broken. They've simply experienced more life. If they were human, we would call them wise. They would be the ones with tales to tell and stories to write, the ones dealt a bad hand who responded with courage. Do not pity a shelter dog. Adopt one.
Say we've got grit, and we'll take it as a compliment. Because it's our uncommon drive, our spark within, that brings us together and sets us apart. We are temple made. And when others take shortcuts, when others take breaks, when others take the easy way, we take charge.
Add us on social media to watch bloopers, behind-the-scenes footage, previews, and more.
I work 13 hours a day, 6 days a week. So when I'm off the clock, I gotta get stuff done. So when I need a snack, I need something healthy, tasty, and easy to eat. Like wonderful pistachios without the shells. They're protein-powered, delicious, and great on the go. And that's perfect for me. Thanks, Liz. A woman without a lot of time.
Whether you're a
Welcome back to Achieve. In today's episode, I am highlighting women in business. And I have an amazing entrepreneur on my show today, Caressa J. And so listen, I want to dive right back into this conversation, because she's been dropping some nuggets during this first half, girl. And so Caressa, listen, I can tell that you are a well-focused entrepreneur. So my question to you, where did you get your entrepreneur drive from?
I got it from my parents. Both of them were entrepreneurs, builders. Both of them didn't have the perfect upbringing, if you will. Like my mom is a true Washingtonian, born in the hood. My dad was born in the 40s, born in the country in Virginia. And so, you know, they had some struggle. But I watched them serve others while also trying to do things that would be rewarding to them as well. And so I watched them build their own churches, GD programs, community events, things like that. My mom had her own clothing store and things like that. So I've been watching I was brought into the entrepreneurial spirit, if you will, through my parents.
So would you say that's where the history from your business began, from your parents, watching your parents?
Yes, always having multiple streams of income. And always thinking about how can I make something happen when I have nothing, basically.
Wow. You know, and mamas, we know how to do that. Daddies do too, but mamas, we know how to do, definitely know how to do that. And so with that being said, it's a great segue into my next question. Who is your accountability partner? Because I believe that all entrepreneurs should have an accountability partner. As a matter of fact, there was a statistic that was out there that was said you're 65% more likely to achieve your goals when you have an accountability partner. And you're 95% more likely to definitely achieve them if you check in with your accountability partner on a weekly basis. And so with that being said, you know, I'm talking to a lot of entrepreneurs. Some entrepreneurs, they do not like to check in with anyone. They have their plan, they have their mission. I don't want nobody in my
they're gonna steal my idea.
Exactly. And so they eliminate that process. And to be honest with you, in watching that, they don't get very far. They don't get, and so they wind up asking me, Wanda, how did you get to where you are today? And one of the things that I do tell them, I have an accountability partner. I have an accountability partner that I check in with on every Friday. She tells me the time, how long we're going to meet, and there's no offense for that, you know, because she's busy as well. But I do have an accountability partner to help me. So who is your accountability partner, and how much do you utilize accountability partner? How important is having an accountability partner?
So I tell people, everybody needs a business bestie.
Oh, business bestie. I'm telling you, are dropping this stuff. I'm a business bestie.
So I have a business bestie. Her name's Natasha. And so I can even remember in 2017, it was a rough time. I left I left working with someone full time, and I got some money, and I blew it. And I was sitting on my dad's couch, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And she was like, oh, well, you're going to get up and do something. Like, we're going to figure this out, you know. And then I would take forever and try to build a website. She's like, girl, just get online, show up, you know, and let's just make some money. And so it's love and power and abundance in having a business bestie. And you have to listen and trust your business bestie. Because when someone tells you to show up for yourself, you have to know they also see something in you that you may not see in yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's great to have a business bestie.
Okay, so, and I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm going to find my business bestie as soon as this episode is over. But for those who do not have a business bestie, right? How did you find your business bestie? Was she your best friend already? Was this someone that you reached out to connect and ask to be a mentor?
Yeah, I believe in divine alignment. I think that, you know, in life we have to be aware. I always tell people I have this awareness. I can meet someone, talk to someone, and I'm like, okay, they're supposed to be a part of my life. They might not be my best friend. I might not talk to them every day, but I am divinely connected with them. I believe I'm divinely connected with you. And
Same
so,
here.
you know, in life, in times things are happen, and I just think that they just show up. People are going to show up when they're supposed to. That's why purpose is so important, because I always tell people, purpose, how do you intentionally impact somebody's life when they cross your path? And people have to remember that, because I had someone tell me yesterday, she was like, well, you know, I'm working this retail job, and I say, well, it doesn't matter if you're working in retail, if you're working at McDonald's, or if you're working, you know, at the White House. Obviously, there's some purpose there, and there's someone you're going to meet, someone you're going to inspire, or there's a story, a lesson, something that you're going to get. And so you just want to make sure that you're always in alignment with purpose, and in that you'll be aware. You will meet some people, and you may think, oh, this is my business bestie because they're about business too. May or may not. Sometimes you have to pivot and adjust. I have kind of, I guess you'd say, just kind of release myself from different relationships and friendships. And it does not mean that people are bad. They may not be going where you're going, and they may not be good for you right now.
Oh, this is so good.
Yeah, because others' mental and emotional health and other people's barriers can limit you. And so you want to make sure, not that you're all that or you're better than the other person or anything like that, but you just need to make sure that they're in alignment with where you are today. They may not be good for you now, but maybe in 6 months. And if somebody is slowing you down and you're struggling with that, you're like, I don't want to, let them go right now. And it might just be, you just create boundaries. You know what I mean? Boundaries is so important. So yeah, I believe that everyone will run into who it is that they're supposed to run into.
Okay, so I love that. And so you keep dropping the word purpose. And so I'm hearing that through the thread of our conversation. And so how did you discover your purpose? Because I believe a lot of times in talking to individuals, that's the one thing that they're missing. They'll ask me, how do I discover my purpose? Because I believe once a person discover their purpose, that's now they can begin to set goals from their purpose. So how would you describe you discovering your purpose? What was that like?
I believe that life and purpose are like conjoined.
Okay.
I believe that if someone is here living, that their purpose is alive. I think that, again, when I say how you intentionally impact somebody's life, I believe that we're all called to inspire or encourage or uplift someone in a unique way. Doing whatever it is that you do. You could be a photographer, a videographer, you could be a life coach, you could be a stylist, whatever it is that your job is. Typically, when you do those things, you'll say, I like the way I make people feel, right? Or I like encouraging this person. Or I like the way that they feel the love that I give them when I'm preaching or teaching. All of that is purpose. And I think that sometimes we make it this big thing that we want God to come from heaven and be like, oh my God, you're called to do this. But we all have gifts. And sometimes we are a box full of gifts. And each gift has its own time. So I might be a brand strategist today, a speaker tomorrow, and I might be a friend the next day, but it all has its purpose.
It all has its purpose, exactly.
And so I think we need to embrace that we all have gifts, we all have talents, we all have skills, we all have anointing, and each of it has its own place.
They do.
One may not be greater than the other, but you need to use it in its own time when you need to use it. So again, people just have to love themselves, embrace their uniqueness, and really just flow. You know what I mean? And it's okay.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
I love that because in your answer, what I'm hearing you saying, find out what you enjoy doing.
That's that part.
Find it, and I instruct people with this joy review. I say, look at the 3 areas where you find your greatest joy.
Yeah.
Or begin to ask yourself, when I'm experiencing my greatest joy, I am doing what?
That's so good.
And that answer most likely will lead you to your purpose. That's why you find great joy in it, because that's where your purpose is. And purpose over perfect.
There you go. Yeah.
And so we're not looking to have a perfect life. We're looking to have a life that's full of purpose.
Yeah.
And that is really what it's about. As you know, as entrepreneurs, as you guys are setting your goals, look, make sure that you're in alignment with your purpose, because your purpose will help take you to the next level, to the next level, and to the next level. I mean, it will open amazing doors that you did not even know that was out there for you when you begin to walk in your purpose and find that one thing that brings you your greatest joy. So this is so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, Caressa, what would you say to the entrepreneurs that are watching? How would you encourage them to be resilient when it comes to their goals? Because again, we're in a pandemic, you know, or should I say we're coming out of the pandemic, I should say. Some people may say we're still in it. Some people say that we're coming out. Whatever one works for you. But what would you say to those individuals or to those entrepreneurs who allowed the pandemic to stop them from being resilient and going after their goals?
You know, and this is scriptural. It says, only the diligent will rule.
Absolutely, yes.
Be diligent. Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep pushing. You are enough. That's what I would tell the entrepreneur. You are enough. So use what you have in your hands. You are enough. No matter how many no's, no matter what they say to you, what they tell you, you are enough. Faith is so important in business. It's so funny, that same year in 2017 when I was like, oh my gosh, what I'm going to do? I had the business bestie, but I also went to the store and got a jar of mustard seeds.
Okay.
Because I had no faith, okay? I was like, if this is only the little bit of faith that you said I need to have,
well, it's enough.
Then it's enough. And I said, you need to use this small thing and show me who you are in real life.
I love it.
In real life. I know we talk about it. I know because we are, for those, I think, faith-based, unbelieving believers. And so we talk good, but when it really comes to expecting a miracle, I needed a miracle. I had nothing, and you know, it was crazy. $1,000 a month before, and then I have nothing, and I'm like, what am I going to do?
Okay.
So I had to tell myself that I was enough. I took that mustard seed, and even that was purpose. I started speaking, and I started sharing mustard seeds with people, and they were crying and having a fit. And I'm like, this is all you need to trust and believe in yourself, and that you're capable, that you're more than enough, really, and that you have what it takes to do whatever it is that you want to do, no matter where you are. Sometimes people are in their lowest moments, but I'm like, you just got to believe this much. And I'm telling you, a door will open. So I believe in miracles. I'm really big on miracles. And I believe that miracles happen in almost every situation. I talk about the awareness that we should have. And I think that we need to start really paying attention to our miraculous moments and miraculous mornings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even when our day gets crazy, if my day gets crazy, I'll say, what good happened to me today? What good happened to me? Something good had to have happened. And even though it seems like it hasn't, and typically you'll find something.
And I find, you know, what you said, it's so important to master your mornings. Because if you can master your morning, you'll be able to master your day. If you can win your morning, you'll be able to win your day. And so no matter what comes your way throughout your day, the fact that you have mastered your morning, you have developed that routine. That will help you to definitely win your day. And so as we go to wrap up, this was really good. I enjoyed our conversation.
I did as well.
How can people reach out to you, connect with you, find about your business? I mean, you have an amazing business. So why don't you tell a viewing audience about your business and how to connect with you?
Yep, so you can find me on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, at Caressa Jennings. My personal website for coaching and speaking is caressaj.com. And the Caressa J Agency is at the CaressaJAgency.com. My email is also info@caressaj.com.
Okay, so did you all get that? That was a lot of information. But look, if you really want to take your business from where it is to get to the next level, then you want to make sure that you hook up with this wonderful, amazing woman entrepreneur. Look, she's crushing it, y'all. And she's going to show you how to do the same thing. But thank you so much for tuning in today. We had a great time. Thank you so much for being on my show.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Great. Yes. Amen. So listen, like I always love to end my segments. Hey, be safe, be great, and don't forget, be 8 all day. Hey, God bless.